Good morning, everyone. This is Biz Chicks TV. This is the place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And today I am here with Coach Caren talking about mindset, your money and your mind. It's all about what you're doing with your stuff, okay?
Mm.
Because it's not yours. It's his. And are you being accountable? So, with that, I just want to remind everybody that we're here Monday through Friday on the Biz Chicks TV, 8 a.m. Pacific time, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. But Coach Fern, all the way from Toronto, Canada, is in the house to talk to us about our money mindset from the Money Mindset Academy. If you're
Mhm.
looking for Coach Caren, you can find her everywhere on the internet under Profits in Daily. And I'll be putting that banner up once she gets started. Coach, you're looking exceptionally beautiful. You're always looking beautiful. You're looking
I
exceptionally
try.
beautiful today.
Maybe it's
So
my new red lipstick. I got it a while and never use it. I'm like, it's Christmas. I'm gonna go red.
it's really pretty. It's a good color.
Yes.
So I'm going to let you get us started today, if you
Yeah.
will. Tell us, what is our topic today?
So today we're gonna continue topic. Last week we talked about a little bit at a time, and today we're
Hmm.
gonna talk about a little bit at a time, expansion. Once we because we covered what that looks like, what it feels like last week, and we want to talk about expanding because sometimes when we think about expansion, we
Hmm.
again we seize up and get afraid. Hi, Cecilia. Morning,
Morning,
beautiful girl,
Cecilia.
too. Merry Christmas and Merry Christmas week. you know,
Uh,
yeah. So I'm talking about it in expansion because in expanding, because that is in itself also scares us. And since we're going into a new year and we've been talking leading up to the planning and I giving you all this great information. If you haven't, go look back on our Wednesdays. We talk a lot about planning. We talk a lot of moving into this beautiful period where we celebrate Jesus Christ and have time with our family, what have you, a little bit at a time. And so that's how we're going to do it. But we're going to get everything accomplished because you'll be looking after all areas of your lives just a little bit at a time. You don't feel rushed.
mhm.
I'm really, I think from half of this year, I start thinking about being gentle to myself. So anytime I feel like I'm rushing me or getting annoyed with me for not getting something finished, I look back at all that I've accomplished, all that I've helped others get done, and then just take a breath and allow myself the gentleness that I so deserve. And you too, you deserve it. Take time with yourself.
Something, so many times, remember those elephant jokes? What was that, the 70s or something? How to eat an elephant one bite at a
One bite
time,
at a time.
one bite at a time. So I think that's sort of what you're talking about right now.
Mhm. Yeah,
Just take
seriously.
it one
One step
step
at a
at a
time.
time.
You're
Hmm.
running your own race. And as I took a shower this morning, I was thinking, and even I think it was around 5:30. I was still lying in bed. I was up, but I was lying in bed. I was saying my prayers, what have you. But when I was up and about, and I was just thinking about the simplest things that others might take for granted. When you pass through a time of never having it, it really develop this place in your heart and your spirit and your being to be grateful for every tiny bit. Because something had to do with the mirror, and that's what brought back the thought. We didn't have a mirror,
Hmm.
and and I would get dressed for school and everything, and I had to pass this store. And when I get to the store window, back to shoe store, that's where I really see what I look like.
Okay.
This is an hour after walking, and I would get there, and I was always hoping that everything is looking right because that's
Yes.
the mirror, right? And I would stop there and I'll check myself and make sure everything is going looking good. And so mirrors like a big thing for me. I got a lot of mirrors around my house. Look how life is, right?
That's interesting. We don't know why we have things around our homes until we really think about it, huh?
As one day I thought about it, I'm like, no wonder I got so many mirrors. Like in my office area, I got two mirrors. I got my well, most of me I've been leaving the house, having the kitchen. Like I got a lot of mirrors in this house when I think about it. And I didn't put it together until one day it just dawned on me. That's why I got a mirror. Or people say to me, "Can't you like to look at yourself in the mirror a lot, eh?" But I never answer why because I didn't even know
That's the
why.
thing.
It took me time to know why. And that leads right back into being gentle with you because when you give yourself the time, you really get to see you. You really get to shine through and see who you are as a person. You know, it is hard finding out who you are, much less finding out somebody else, a client, and growing your business. And this is why I encourage all the time to really take the time to find out who you are, not who your mother taught you to be, not who your husband, if you have one, think you should be, or the mom your kids wish you were or could be. You know, just who you are. And there's things about you that you might like, and there's things about you that people wouldn't like. But if they like you, or they love you and like you, they can get all of it. You don't get some parts of it. You're just gonna get all of
Mhm.
it. So start being comfortable with all this about you, whatever that thing is, whatever that make you you. Because when you understand those things, we understand that when we get to the points I'm gonna bring up here, it's because you've dealt with you. And if you haven't, pause and go find some time to find you.
Mm.
How do we deal with expansion? How do we deal with the growth? And how do we tell our successful self that it's okay to keep growing and expanding? It is a
Mhm.
hard thing when you reach a certain stage. If you've grown up poor for a long time and you're now coming into some dollars and you're feeling successful, some parts of you, but the other parts are still gravitating to and wanting to stay in the poor state of mind or the poor being or the poor not being. So there's this tug and war that happens. And if you're with a partner, I think that the tug and war is way more tough because a lady said this and I said it all the time. Most time when you meet somebody, hi Tim, when you meet somebody,
Okay.
they find you at whatever stage of life you're at. And if you have past certain things, they don't know you at that stage, they only know you here. And they're loving the person that they meet now. But if you had set yourself on growth and expansion, if they are just wanting you there, it is very hard to expand because when you expand, you of yourself is afraid that they won't come along, and you sometimes will not expand. That's for somebody else, and sometimes you don't even know subconsciously. And even for your poor self or yourself for now or yourself that hasn't grown, when you
Mhm.
try to expand, the reason you come back, you sabotage yourself and you don't move forward is because you're still the person that is right here, right now in front of you. And it's hard to go meet the future you. The future you is scary as hell. People talk about going anywhere. Never mind anything. You, the future, the future you, the future. Let me get my words right. The future you
Mhm. The
is a
successful you.
yeah. The future successful you is very scary. It's people that you've
Why
watched
is that?
because a part of you don't think it's attainable,
Oh, okay.
and you're afraid of failure, failing that you're not going to reach and touch her. Even
Mhm.
though I want to make the statement, if you have hit your 30s or 40s, you have reached several future yous that wasn't there initially and come to pass. So you've actually met her. But up until this point, before you get to this point, you had some fear of her anyway,
Mhm.
but you still graduated towards her. But if she's at the point where you've only seen you and now you're pushing past this part, imagine Terry, you're poor like I was talking about I being, and then $20 was a big money. I mean, I was a little child at the time, but excuse me, when I made my first $2,000, I was like on cloud nine that I made $2,000. When I made $2,000 in a week, I jumped off the cloud because I couldn't even believe it is happening. Now, if you had really tell my little self that that's where I'd be, I would say no way that's going to happen. It's just like the first time I got a big order for $200 to 200, not dollars, 200 of the product, and then the person sent me. something else. Send me the big and the big contract, if you will, and say no, it's not 200 per orders, but it's 200 per orders per day. Literally, my future self that was wishing and hoping that the business would get to this point, freeze, seized up, and it took me 3 days to be able to fulfill 2 days of orders because I was fighting the whole idea. Not, it feel like supernaturally I was fighting it because intellectually I know I could do it, but I was still fighting with myself that I can't do it. And I give every single reason why I couldn't attain it. So I had to get 1,000 sorry, 1,400 products every single week to this put one client. Just one client. I had other clients. And
Mm-hmm.
in my head, I was like, I give all these excuses. And then once I was able to come back down to earth, I was able to say, I can do it. But it was scary as hell. This is why right in front of me, there's a sign that always says, no excuses, get up and dance. So anytime I feel like I want to give an excuse when something big and bold is coming my way, I look up at the sign. I keep it also at my night table to remind me because I'm a human. So I find excuses not to reach out to my future self.
Mm.
I wanted it. And I hire a sales rep to go get me the business I needed at the time. And yet when she delivered it into my lap, I mean, there's not a way to put it. It delivered it into my lap. And I now went to sign the contract with the gentleman. And he let me know, no, it's not a 200 order, but it's a 200 product order per day. So it's going to be 1,400 of these orders every single week. But I could drop
Wow.
100 every day. And yeah, I had to sit with that for a while. I had to start asking my future self that I really wanted to meet how I'm going to do it. What's going to happen? So I went back and I apologized. I said, I need a week. I really need a week to figure out how this is going to happen. I want the order. Thank you very much, but I need to figure this out. Okay. And he allowed me to figure it out. He gave me
Mm-hmm.
grace to figure it out. I prayed about it. And I really, really, it wasn't hard to do. I just needed to hire people. But I never
Yes.
hire to the capacity to produce, in that quantity. So
Mm-hmm.
it was me fighting against me. And I'm bringing this to the table because whatever you're planning for next year, whatever you're gearing towards to do, to hit and reach your future self, you're going to have to do a lot. But take it a little bit at a time. As Terry says, biting the elephant, eating the elephant one bite at a time. Don't rush it. Don't rush it. If you're looking after social media and you need 30 days, spend time on social media for that 30 days. And Terry Johnson come in and talk about that. She was in yesterday. I'm sure she speak on that.
Yes.
If you're trying to figure out how your sales and marketing is going to work, don't rush it. Bite it one piece at a time. Same scenario, and then work the whole thing out. Maybe you need a full 90 days so you can see where the business could be, because that's part of reaching your future self. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
that time that you're taking is part of reaching your future self, which is the expansion that we're talking about. And when you do that, that's how you can get to your success. And that's everything. The reason I always start with you, because you're home. And if you're not sure you could do this, take a room in your house and clean it one area at a time. Take all your dishes out your cupboard, clean them one session at a time. And look at them as people, look at them as a product, look at them as a service. Sometimes we need to get to the kind of things that we deal with daily versus the unknown to really understand this concept, to truly understand this concept, that everything that you want to do is possible. And here's the biggest news you want to hear. You see, when you understand that, God sent people like nobody's business to assist you. Oh, my skin get goosebumps when I talk about it. He just sent you. He sent in the choir. Let me tell you, he sent in the choir. Because
Mm-hmm.
when I told two friends of mine about my orders, my sales rep, which was my sister at the time, she brought on two of her friends. My friends, they came in droves. Everybody, the only thing they said to me, Caren, how can I help? Put me to work. Just tell me what
Mm-hmm.
I do. Tell me how I could help. Tell me what time you need me to show up. Let me get my schedule. This is how I work. This is the time I have. Tell me which of this work. Let me know if I can go in and change my shift. This is how God works. He send you the people to showcase to you that the thing you want to do that you're not doing, frightened to do, scared to do, if you step out in faith, He will surround you with the people, the help, everything that you need.
Wow.
Just
What
that.
a blessing. What a blessing.
Even in the pandemic. Yes, I'm going to bring that up. Even in the pandemic.
And Cecilia says you have great friends to help. Yes. Wow. I think too, here's the other thing. We don't know how to ask for help.
Right?
A lot of times we figure if we can't do it, then okay, so what? It's just I'm done. You know
Ask for
what I
help.
mean?
You got to ask them. And when somebody, this is why I want you to sit, people want to sit with themselves and know themselves. Because when people show up, they're not showing up knowing what to do. So you have to
Mhm.
have it set up what to do so that when
Mhm.
they show up, you could
Exactly.
actually tell them what to do. And don't be afraid to also say, I am also learning what to do. So I might mess up a lot and might know exactly how I want things. So we're going to study self correct. You understand? We're going to study self correct. And these were guy friends I'm talking about. I had a lot of guy friends, but I had these 5 staplers who showed up like they came to work. The guys would
Mhm.
pass. They're like, Karen, I'm going to take a shower. I'll be right back. That's they finish work. They go home, take a shower, eat something, and they're back at my mother's house because I'm living at my mom's house. And they'll show up back. Just like when I had the pajamas business here, I started it. I told you how much I had to do. And my friend called me. She's like, Karen, can I come over? I'm like, girl, I'm busy. She's like, say no more. Whatever you need my 2 hands to do, just tell me. I'm ready to work. And this is again, I'm speaking of that was in Guyana with that big number. This is
Mhm.
Canada. Just to showcase how people still show up for you in North America, because it was a little different. I got friends living all over the place now, close to me in Toronto. And Michelin
Mhm.
showed up. Next thing you knew, Sonia called me, Sonia showed up. My friend Isabella was passing. She's like, Karen, can I just pop in? I'm like, girl, we're hard at work. She goes, what do you do? And I told her, she goes, okay, count me in. I got 2 hours. That's all I can give you, but I'm going to pop in. And
Wow.
people just showed up. But that's also, I want to say, it's also me being me upfront, being the kind of friend I am to my friends. I'm going to give myself kudos for that. I'm a really good friend. When I got a friend, I'm a really good friend. I'm really there for my friends. So I know it's not really a surprise when they're there for me. And they know I don't ask unless I need the help. And yes, you could ask. In this situation, I just spoke and they, volunteer. But you can ask, when a friend asks you if you have the time, you pause and you say, I maybe can't do on Friday, but I can do on Saturday. Now, we're not talking about friends who take advantage and pass their boundaries. That's not the kind
Mhm.
of friendship we're talking about. We're talking about good friends who would travel for a couple of hours to help another friend because they're a good friend, who would take a weekend off and just say, hey, I'm coming Friday night. You got me all weekend. I'm off work and I'm just coming. Put me to work. And I've done that for
Mhm.
friends. When I pack up me and my kids, they're younger. I say, hubby, we'll see you later. We going away. And I gone there, and the whole Saturday I'm helping my friend get herself to where she needs to be because she needed me.
Yeah.
The kids will play with the kids, but she needed me. And sometimes it's not a physical need, it's a mental need. Sometimes, it's an emotional need, it's a prayer need. And yes,
Mm.
there's a financial need too. But I'm talking about the friendships that you've built and it's secure and it's there and you're really helping. Because we hear so much about people who don't want to do and don't want to help. And there's a lot of good people out there who truly want to help if you ask. We're not talking
Yes.
again about the people who pass boundaries and the users. No, we're talking about people who really want to help and want to see you grow and want to see you shine. It's such a pleasure when you see. My friend invited me because, most of us have our business and we don't really have a function, but we went last Saturday. And there's a lot of big folks that were there who changed their lives over, who started a new career. Once became a chef in her 50s. She decided to she
Mhm.
says, I'm done. I'm done being a nurse. I don't want to work in the field anymore. This was before Corona, of course. And she just switched gears. Oh my God, it's five. When she told me it's 5 years now, I'm like, what? 5 years ago, she said, I want to be a chef. I always want to be a chef. I felt so ashamed because everybody, said to me, chef? Why would you leave that and go be a chef? And she said, now that all my kids are grown, I decided I'm going to be a chef. So she went back to
Mhm.
school and she became a chef, and she working at a 5-star restaurant. you know, another girl, she was a counselor for years, and she's still counselor at church, but she wanted to be a life coach, and
Um,
she's in it 3 years now. Like, yay, like, so all the ladies that had changed gears and was there just celebrating of stepping out on faith and saying, this is what I want to do, and taking little
yes,
bites at a time. But they're doing it.
exactly, exactly.
Doing it. You know? Whew, when I think about it, it makes me so happy, make me so joyous. And I live in happiness and joy. That's the land I live in. And let
So
me
the,
tell you, even when it's hard, I want
Mhm.
people to hear this. Even when it's hard, I wake up on purpose happy because I am here. I
Exactly.
wake up on purpose
Let's
happy
start
because
there.
I am here. I could have been anywhere, but I am here. And I thank the Father every day. I tell people, I could have died how many times over, but I am here. I faced death in its face quite a few times, and I am here. So I'm going to be happy every moment that I am here.
Yes, indeedy.
So let me, before we get done, let me not carry away. So how do you deal with growth? Like, what is the thing that holds you? Like, what stop you from growing? Like, what is it? And I could give you a list of things, but the truth is, you got to sit down with yourself and you have to ask this question and be prepared for the raw answer. Because sometimes growth is being stopped because you allow somebody to dictate where you go from here, whether you know it or not. So you need to really understand that's the problem, and then look into ways to change that.
Hmm. So,
Look
what
in,
is stopping you from growing?
yeah, yeah,
Mm.
don't be afraid of growth. Here's the thing you got to look about growth. Every time you grow, you get to help somebody else grow. Every
Mm.
time you grow, you help somebody else grow. You help your kids grow. You help your grandkids grow. You help friends grow. We as friends, professional friends, we push each other by not telling you, I'm doing great, by just showcasing to you how I'm living, what I'm doing, how I'm growing, and it helps you to grow. So by growing, you help people, and then you help people who is probably not there yet but wanting to go, and they might never say anything to you, but they're watching and they're seeing you. When Periscope first started, they had this lady that used to listen to me every day at 12 o'clock. And I remember one day I was shutting down Periscope, and I said, I won't be on Periscope anymore because I really didn't have a big audience there, to be honest with you. And she
Mhm.
said, Karen, you are my lunch break. I used to cry in the lunch room at lunchtime. And I've been listening to you for now, what, 3 weeks? At the time was 6 weeks, somewhere around there. And she says, I am able to actually write instead of cry. I'm praying more. I'm back to where I was. I was in this state that I didn't feel like I could put my one foot in front of each other, you know. And so you never know who you're helping also silently while you grow, that they
Mhm,
might say
mhm,
nothing,
mhm,
And she kept me, I ended up on Periscope for like 3 months or so. Good morning, Maureen.
mhm,
Because I wanted to be encouraging for her,
mhm,
I end up setting up a business plan for her, doing a daily routine for her. I'd make quite a few printables and send her way because I wanted to encourage her, because she's really depressed at the job she was at. Just showing how to find herself, to know when to leave,
mhm.
how she can pave a way to leave, because that's what she wanted to do. So you never know who you're helping silently grow. And then what to do. What do we tell our successful self? Like, talk to the successful person you want to be and see as you're expanding. Inform her of what's coming down the pipeline. Let her help you get there. Let her put her hand back and pull you up, as you go. Don't be afraid of her. She's you her. She knows what has gone before. She knows where you mind and desire is. She know where you want to get to, and she's going to help you. And even when you feel like you can't do it, trust me, you can. You can, a little bit at a time.
Okay. I have here Tell your future self what you're trying to do and let her help you.
Let her help you. Let her help you. A little bit at a time. A little bit at a time. That's I'm gonna
So,
keep saying
so she becomes your accountability partner.
partner. Yeah, 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 yeah,
Okay, I get it.
yeah, yeah. You
Okay.
could talk to her anytime. You don't have to think it's after 9. If you're awake, you can call upon her. You don't have to worry that if you call up a friend, it might be too early in the morning. You can reach out
Hmm.
to her. She's there. Because whatever I always believe, whatever you ask God for, He's giving it to you. You're welcome. Whatever you ask God for, He's giving it to you. He's given to you in such a way that when you do receive it, you really be thankful. He was part of it. So it's
Hmm.
never rushed. He don't just dump things in your lap. And if you think that, well, I asked for today, they got it yesterday. No, you've been asking for it, and it was delivered today. And maybe that's the day that you're seeing it delivered, and you forget about the
Hmm.
ask a while
Yeah.
back. You might get despondent and don't think that it's happening. But if you're doing what you're supposed to do and getting to where you're supposed to get to, you will see the results. And once you're seeing those results, then you can't help but be financially rewarded. Like, you don't even have to think about it. You will be rewarded handsomely. YouTubers are giving their content for free for a long time before they see the reward. And then you get to YouTube and you didn't see them in those years, but now you see somebody that made $76,000 this month. You're like, oh my God, this is all I can make on YouTube. Uh, no, this is what they made on YouTube. But they put in that time a little bit at a time.
Hmm.
They make a video, they sit down and edit it. They take a class in editing. They learn to better themselves. And eventually they're going to let somebody edit it and they're going to stop editing. And you'll say, well, why did they go through all of that? That's because when they actually meet with an editor, they can have a really intelligent conversation. They can tell the editor what they're looking for. They can understand when the editor talked to them about certain things. And that's why you
Hmm.
learn these things. That's why you need to always learn before you outsource. At least that's my thing. Or and if you don't want to learn the nitty gritty, you need a general understanding before you outsource. That's why
And
that's so
you
important.
need to know the language because you
Yes.
don't know how to express it in a way that the
Hmm.
technician can understand it.
Hmm. Hmm.
So yeah,
And
because
then you say, well, the person didn't do it well, but did you really tell them?
were you able to express what you were
Right.
looking for? Well,
Yes.
I don't know. I just need a website.
Mm-mm. You got it. You have. They can build you any website. When I went to business school, we did this project with 66 questions that you should ask each
Mhm.
client. And I can't tell you how many people in the class whined about it. Why would I ask my client 66 questions? Nobody ever will answer 66 questions. You can't. Well, you're not going to ask them the whole 66 one time, but you better believe it. You should be asking them those 66 questions because
Mhm.
it will tell you a lot about a person. By the time you get to number 12 or 15, you'll know that they're not your client because the way they'll answer certain things, the way they wouldn't want to answer certain things. I remember that professor today. He would not let it go. He says, then you don't have to do it, but this is the class I'm teaching. 66. I can't remember who, the name gone from me now, who came up with these 66 questions. And you can change it up how you like, but it really allow you to investigate who you're dealing with. And even if you
Mhm.
have them as a client, you might notice over time they were never your ideal client. They might be just the in between. They just come to fill in that little pocket hole and get things, but they're not your clientele. And that's okay. You move forward after that, because you just don't stay there. We're talking about expanding, expansion, and growth. And it's okay. I just want to say this before I sign off. It's okay to be successful. It's okay to feel successful. It's okay to feel successful before you are where you want
All
to.
right. There you go. It's okay to feel successful before you get there. You know, I'm with you. Every day that I wake up, that's a success. Every
Yes.
every every day that I come in and do the show, that's a success. I think the problem is that we do not celebrate the routine of life.
Mhm. And it's a
We start
beautiful thing.
Yeah, we start taking the routine for granted, but it's
Mhm.
something to be celebrated. The fact
It-
that you showed up, you held yourself accountable, and you're in there doing what you said you were going to do,
mhm.
keeping your promises to yourself.
Yes. Very important. If you don't keep it to yourself, very rare you can keep it for anything, anybody else. It's like if you don't love yourself, after a while, if you hate you, you're gonna spill that hate over into other people.
What did he
Just a
say?
fact.
Love your neighbor as you love yourself.
Yourself.
And a lot of us have not taken the time to really love on ourselves.
You're right. Right. Because we feel, I don't know, we feel ashamed, we feel we're not worthy of it. There's just so much things we feel that we,
I don't know what's going on with
but
us, but
I know but that.
you say you're over it, huh? You're over it. Ain't nobody got time for that. Okay. Oh my gosh.
Mm,
Well, well, let's summarize here, Coach.
yes. So last week and this week we talk a little bit, talking about a little bit at a time. We talk about expanding and how to deal with growth, and we talk about being successful, accepting it, and high fiving that future self of yours and working towards it. And especially how we're getting into 2022, guys. Whew, I hope you guys are ready. I hope you guys have been planning this, and you're not too late because we got another week after Christmas now. Like next week, Sunday, you can sit with
Mhm.
yourself and spend the rest of the year just laying it out. And if you had laid it out already, get into the nitty gritties. And if you haven't, lay it out day one, walk away, come back, get back into the plan and dissect it. Get back in and then get into the nitty gritty. And by the end of the week, have yourself a daily routine, have yourself a daily work, study, and home routine. Those are my three things. It's in on the district on the circle. I put a little PDF in there. Guys, go in there and get it. Study, home, and work. And you're covering all three. You're getting in there. You're doing it. You're moving along. At the end of the year, I promise you, if you put this, either use the PDF or you put it in a book, when you look back, that's why I love journaling. I love talking about these stuff because I am telling you, at the end of November, I was patting my head, my toes, and my fingers how much I've accomplished, how much I got done. But that's because I've been keeping track. I've been
Mm.
watching. I've been watching self growth, and I wanted to do it across the board because I used to pick here and there. But this year, 2021, I did it across the board. I did my health, I did my wellness, I did my self care, I did my studies, I did work, I did helping, I did everything across the board. And I tell you, when you look back from losing weight, getting myself on a really great eating, and I don't like to diet, but eating well because I
Mhm.
was, but I would fall off every now and then. But just
Yes.
understanding that I could take breaks and have certain things, but not go off the rail kind of crazy zone, which I was doing in
Mhm.
2020.
I think we all had some spurts there because there was so much coming at us
So
and
much.
so much being denied.
Yes,
As
yes.
far as being able to navigate the planet,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
uh,
mm-hmm.
people canceling meetings and the
Every
things that
which
got us
way.
out and about and
Right. And I
interacting with
couldn't do
one.
vacation. I didn't go on a vacation. And that's something I enjoy doing a couple times a year. So it
Hmm.
was hard when 20 finished and I realized I didn't go anywhere. I couldn't go anywhere. I wouldn't take
Hmm.
that chance going anywhere. I don't care what nobody
Exactly.
say. I ain't going nowhere. To go where? To go somewhere else? Nope. I stay my butt home. But it did do a
Hmm.
little bit of a number on me.
And yeah, because it's very interesting, especially when you're working from home,
Hmm.
to also be confined there.
Oh, yeah.
Cecilia has a comment here. She says, um, I love it. I need to talk to my successful and organized self more often. I
Hmm.
have done that before when I was trying to get a project done, and I had to stop and really think and talk about it to myself. The project was successful. She says, she says, I love you too. So encouraging. Well, Cecilia, you know what? You can do all things, girl. You just have to, like you said, sit down, buckle down, and talk to your successful self. Well, she got it,
Oh,
coach.
yes, she did. Yes, she did. I love it. I love it. Oh
We
my
are
God.
so proud of you,
Yes.
Cecilia.
So, so proud. So, so proud, girl. Oh, that warms my heart.
We celebrate you.
Yes, we
We
do.
celebrate with you and we celebrate you.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Mm.
Wow, coach. See there? Someone's
Yes.
on track
Nice.
because of what
Nice.
you shared today. That's a
Nice,
good
nice,
feeling,
nice. Mm-hmm.
huh? Okay, so is there anything else you want to share with us before we go?
Oh no. Oh yes, yes, yes. In the new year, guys, look out. I've got some wonderful goodies coming your way in
Oh,
the new
good.
year. Yes. We got a workshop, we got some membership coming. We just have a whole bunch of wonderful things that I want to give people time to work on and just go through. And I want them to enjoy getting to this place. Okay. And I think I needed this year myself to walk
Mhm.
me through so that when I'm helping, I'm coming from the place of being, so I know, how to get there. And one of the things I did this year, Terry, that I was so happy with in terms of budget. I
Mhm.
went into a real bare bones budget. I really wanted to see how if somebody was starting there, how it would work. So that when I offer the program and I have people in there doing that, I really want them to know that I put myself through it. I park things and just put myself through it to get through to all the things I need to get through on a bare bones budget. That's one of the things that's going to be in there. I really want this program to really help people to see how to build more than one businesses a little bit at a time, but how to do it sensibly, profitably,
Mm.
while and not neglecting you while you do it. That's the key. I don't want people to feel overwhelmed anymore. I want them to take a program and actually get in there and do it and feel proud of themselves while they're doing it, while they're
Mhm.
working through it. So that's
Yes.
what coming through the pipes. So I'm taking a little bit of time off, guys. You guys are taking a couple of weeks off. Well, I'll tell Terry. She'll tell you guys.
Oh.
And I'm gonna still take some time off to rest. You know how I do, Terry. I take my
Yes. Well,
little
we can we will talk about that offline, guys.
yeah.
We're not letting Karen take any vacations. She'll be screaming from Guyana or wherever she is. But that's a whole nother subject because we need you, Coach. I, I
I
don't
have
know
a
if
good
you.
I have a good time here in Tune Island.
Yeah, and you always make things so plain. We love that about it and doable. So
Mhm.
we thank you for that. Guys, I
No
want to
problem.
remind you that we'll be here tomorrow with happy habits, happy healthy
Healthy
habits with Robert
habits.
Shamizu and friends. And Maureen's going to be on tomorrow. So hey Maureen, talking about our health because if you don't
Yes,
have
yes.
your
She
health, you
always brings
can't
such
keep
good
your
info.
wealth.
Yes.
Yes. So,
Mhm.
Coach, we just are so excited, and we wish you a Merry Christmas. Happy holidays to everyone whatever it is you're celebrating.
Rated, yep.
But we want to wish all of our circle members and those of you watching here on the replay and live, we want to wish you Merry Christmas. And
Yes.
we look forward to a great, successful new year as Coach Karen helps us plan for just that. And we're looking forward to all of those workshops, Coach. Um, we just want to say if you are not already following Biz Chicks, you can text Biz to 333-777. We'd love to have you become a part of our
Mhm.
community. In addition to that, if you are not following Coach Karen, you can find her on the web everywhere at
Well,
Profits in Daily.
Daily. Yeah.
Yes. So that you can be a part of all the wonderful things that she has coming up for 2022. And with that, we want to remind you to go to the front of your own line. Have a great day. Thank you again, Coach. Bye bye, everyone.